Tape marker, the long night review, guys. Let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. Horror, baby. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? I'm Ryan D. You can call me Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Callie Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. They bring the movie world right into your ears, devices. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Let's get right to it, Angela. This is our movie review of The Long Night. Man, what a cult of a film here. This really gets us into the horror-verse style of this nature, of this beast, of this following group, really. And it just, you really follow these two characters around. And you know, the synopsis reports as a devoted couple's quiet weekend takes a bizarre turn when a nightmarish cult and their maniac leader comes to fulfill an apocalyptic prophecy. What did you think of this movie, Angela?
I don't know about devoted couple, but yeah, a couple.
Yeah.
They're you know, standard typical young millennials. There's a lot to unpack here. I feel like for me, I didn't know nothing about this movie going in.
Yeah.
But after I watched it, for me, I feel like it didn't explain too much of what was going on. Like, I had to piece... It was really hard for me to piece together exactly the plot that was supposed to be. So there was a lot of, like, hidden thing... Or not hidden, but, like, layers of this plot.
Yes.
Like, she's... doesn't know who her parents are, and she's trying to find them.
And
but it doesn't really state that. Like, you really have to, like... I don't know, maybe not pay attention, because you always should do that in movies, but it's just, it didn't explain it very well.
It really gets you lost in the aspect and the idea of what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And you really get into this context of like, I'm missing something out of did I miss a part of this movie? And you really going into this film, it's like, you know, I went in there from the poster perspective of it, right? Which is that, you know, the three classic cult face masks there. And I was all like, oh, snap, this is going to be like a really good horror film. This is really going to get the nerves going, get you awake and everything, especially when we're watching in the middle of the night. Granted, though, with all that, you really get lost in this movie because you just feel like you're missing a plot. The plot gets mishapped so many times in this movie, and it kind of stirs away, and you kind of feel like, man, is like where is this leading to? It doesn't fully explain the cult. It kind of does, but then it kind of doesn't at the same time. It kind of explains it, but it doesn't give us a full on depth, which I really love, because when it comes to religious cults, or when it comes to any horror religious style, or any murderer, really, any Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even though we heard the story countless times, whether the origin stories or anything like that, that's really been remade or refranchised, regardless, I'm always interested into why they start killing. What triggers them to actually start this cult? What triggers them to start this prophecy? Mm-mm. And we really don't get that in that context. We kind of do a little bit, but it kind of stirs away from it. I feel like this movie was over edited. I feel like there was more movie in here, more film in here than we got.
I agree. We don't really fully find out who these people are. I mean, you determine pretty quickly that, you know, these young couple goes to this house that they really shouldn't be there to begin with. Obviously abandoned, no one's there, and then this cult shows up, and then that's most of the movie. You don't really get an explanation of who or what or why they're there until the very end, and even that scene itself is very brief. Mm-hmm. Which I wanted to see more of that, because the way that they were presented, like the way they looked, I gotta admit, it was very creepy.
It was good.
Super creepy. I really liked the wardrobe and the mask and everything. That was super cool to see that as a cult. My problem is I didn't hear enough of the cult and what they were doing there. I mean, we find out at the end why they're there, but it was also that, and most of the movie, they didn't really do much.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this film was shot in one area. You could tell, obviously. I don't know if this was made. I mean, it had to have been made during COVID, and it kind of felt like that because it was excluded and everything as in one set area, which is fine. It relies more on the actors and actress, in this case, on the couple, to really, just really help us entertain us and just to really carry the film on its own. So again, though, it was the idea of this movie was so good. The cult shots were really good. The visual shots were really good. I really enjoyed how they took a lot of the cult stuff, had a lot of the idea of this whole like horror aspect of it. I loved it. I really did. I enjoyed this so much, of those shots of where it was showing us just the different violent scenes in here as well. The different visuals. She was having a little daydreaming sequences there. And I love that. That was brilliant. That was good. Really good horror stuff there. Really good horror elements. I was very entertained on that. But as far as story-wise, for me, it didn't do so good.
Again, I know where they're trying to go, like this mysterious cult, but I feel like it was too mysterious, where they just didn't develop the cult enough. Again, at the very end, it explains, the why, what their purpose was, but it just wasn't enough for me. I wanted to hear more about them.
So you wanted more movies,
and I wanted to see the members do more things. And, they had some very cool moments that were really interesting. But I just wanted to see more of the cult members instead of them surrounding the house for the most of the movie. And, they do a little bit more, like they go into the house and all that stuff. And they do some really interesting things. But I just wanted to see more of that. And that's why it didn't live up to what I expected when I hear cult movie. And again, I know you mentioned that the way it was set up, the lead actor and actress were supposed to carry this. For me, I felt they didn't carry it as much as I wanted them to.
Yeah, it was very when it comes to them as their chemistry on camera was very not good.
Like it.
I didn't like it either. Yeah, it was very unmixed. I felt like we're just getting two different personalities there on camera, and it just wasn't synchronizing. Again, that could have been the whole point of this movie, right? But for us, it just didn't work so good. It didn't work so well. I know we got Nolan Funk. I know he's from MTV's Awkward, and then we got Taylor Compton. I'm not sure where she's from. I haven't really seen her done anything, anything that I've seen recently. But it looks like she was in Halloween 2 and Halloween, so she's not. She's not far away from the horror movies.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm interested to see if this movie, how well the audience reacts to this film. But was this the film that we deserved? I'm gonna say no.
No. I again, when you think of cult movies, you think of something.
Okay, if we were doing just the horror stuff in here, I will say yes. But obviously, the plot and everything just was outshined. The way the plot was, because it has to have a strong plot, it has to have a strong story here. The horror did not outshine the plot. The plot outshined the horror, and not in a good way. So yeah, I'm gonna say no.
I would say no too. I agree with that. It definitely could have been a lot better. The story could have definitely been a lot better. So I would say no. Unfortunately, it's one of the few movies that I have said no to.
Yeah. Rating 1 out of 10. 10 be the highest end. So what do you give this rating?
I would have saw a 3, only because those shots, as we mentioned, of the cult and some of the things they did were pretty cool. The violent scenes were pretty cool, but as far as like the performance of the cast, the way it just took too long to really tell the story. That was a really big drawback.
It took a lot for the film to really develop itself and to develop its identity in that context. And it just really, and the climax of this movie was just very dull. It's almost to where like you show us the climax and we're supposed to have this emotional aspect of it.
Yeah, that was another thing.
And you really didn't.
And that's another thing too.
There's no emotional level there.
I did not care about either character.
Yeah,
the main girl, and then
a lot of dull moments, and it just really it just no character shined here besides the cult. That was
the people that shined for me. I wanted to know more about. I wanted to know more about this cult.
Yes.
Then I was invested into the lead characters, and that's I didn't get that, and so that was just a drawback for me. That's why I give it a solid 3.
Yeah. Definitely. I give it a solid 4 just because I really enjoyed the horror shots in here. I really enjoyed the horror idea because the way this film was shot and the way this film gave us the idea of this horror verse style of this cult ideology and this apocalyptic whole aspect of it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. That's why I'm giving it a 4. A little below average. Sorry, guys. It was just my perspective of it. And I really wanted to enjoy this movie a lot because the posters gave it really good detail. It felt like it was going to be a really solid, great film. It really did. But I was misled, and I'm watching from the posters and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna give a solid 4. If you're a fan of horror movies, guys, and you're just a horror movie fanatic, we do recommend this movie to you guys. If you are a horror person, just because
try it,
just to give it a chance. Every movie is a work of art, guys. Be sure to give this movie a chance, and we hopefully you enjoy it. Or if you didn't, put it on comments down below whether you liked it or did not like it. So that way you give us your thoughts of the movie review and everything, and let us know. Tell us, oh, you guys are totally wrong. Let us know why, guys, because we love talking movies here at the Movie Talk Show. And yeah, thank you so much for attending. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button once again, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat lady Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much. Check y'all later. Stay safe, San Antonio. Peace, baby. Peace.